Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to Creative Lab's winter general meeting. Thank you so much for joining us on this Friday evening among all the tumult of UCLA and all that. Um, I'm Lucy, one of the co-executive directors of Creative Labs, and I'm here with Maggie.
Hi, everyone. I'm also one of the co-executive directors for Creative Labs. We also have our other directors. Just want to give them a shout out really quickly. Bryan, who leads our tech team, Sam, who leads design, Isha, who is our projects lead director, as well as Jakin and Michelle, who lead marketing for us. So we're all a collection of people on board who help run and put on Creative Labs projects every quarter. And I'll go ahead and hand it back over to Lucy to talk a little bit about what Creative Labs is, if you happen to be new and joining us for the first time. If you're returning, welcome back to a new year.
So if you are totally new to Creative Labs and haven't been to one of these before, I'm just going to run through like a quick bit about our mission. Overall, we're kind of just a group of students who are trying to encourage other students to do cool things, cool projects, learn new skills, all that. So that's what all of our projects and events are basically trying to go towards. Next slide. And you can go to the next one too.
Yeah, so the outline for this general meeting, we are going to be introducing our 7 projects for this quarter. So feel free to stick around, meet each lead. They're going to be talking a little bit more about what their project is and the types of project members that they're going to be looking for. Our project member applications are going to drop right after GM, so look out for that, as well as some events that we have happening this quarter, as well as a Q&A session at the very, very end if you have any more specific questions for the project leads. So go ahead and move on to the next slide.
All right, so as Maggie said, we have 7 projects this quarter. So we're going to go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to the leads to introduce themselves and talk a little bit about what their projects are and what they're looking for. So we're going to start off with Rooteden, and our lead, Sarah.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah and I'll be leading Rooteden this quarter. So what is Rooteden? Basically think of it as a platform that helps people stay rooted in their goals. So if you're anything like me, you probably stopped making New Year's resolutions a long time ago when you realized that you never actually followed through them. So I came up with the idea for my project to prevent people from losing momentum, whether that be for short or long-term goals. So Rooteden is a UI UX project designed to promote productivity and instill inspiration in individuals who lose sight of their goals. So in this project, I kind of want to explore why people lose motivation in the first place and how to rekindle that inspiration. Yeah, Bryan, you should learn how to ride a bike. I also don't know how, but yeah, can you go to the next slide? So the team size is pretty variable. I'm mainly looking for like UI UX designers, illustrators, and storytellers. But if you're interested in this project and you also want to work on like promoting productivity, like feel free to apply. But yeah, if you're interested in joining my project, I would love to hear about your interests and ideas.
Well, thanks, Sarah. Now we're going to have the next project leads for Immortals.
Hi, everyone. So my name's Keona May, and our project for this quarter is a 2D adventure game, which is with the theme revolving around Greek mythology. And my co-lead, Grant, and we were inspired by our childhood of reading the Percy Jackson series. So we kind of took that story and created this game with a twist. And our main character starts off as a regular high school student who suddenly finds out they're a demigod and then is plunged into a world of chaos as monsters chase after them. And the character embarks on an adventure to find a lost item, and they'll find themselves battling mini bosses at checkpoints throughout the game. To reach the end goal, their character will eventually have to battle like this final boss, which is this god from Olympus. To make for more interactive gameplay, we wanted to build in puzzles and mini games that players will interact with throughout the game, so in between the checkpoints. So you can do things like learn magical abilities or like sword fighting tactics. And then once you reach the end, you'll have to make like the biggest decision of your life, which is a secret unless you want to join. So yeah, so this project is great for anyone who enjoys Percy Jackson nostalgia or action adventure games, or you just simply have a love for video games and want to try building one yourself, then come join us.
Hi, so we're specifically looking for 3 artists. Since it's a 2D game, hopefully you're experienced in 2D art and animation, but outside of that, any experience is welcome. And we're also looking for 2 to 3 developers. You can be proficient in any coding language, but experience with Unity is a plus because that's the engine we're going to be using. And then if you have experience with storytelling or game design, that would be very helpful. We want our team members to provide their input along the way as well.
All right. Thank you, guys. Next up, we have the leads for Star.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lele or Lalani, and I'm the lead for Star. Basically, it's like a fun way to translate lessons of responsibility to your kids and through a digital pet and a reward system. So parents establish like scheduled tasks and assign points to them. And when a predetermined value is reached, kids can turn their stars into something in which they can request for a reward, like an hour of like video game or screen time, serving up ice cream, or like purchase goodies for their digital pet. In terms of what we're looking for, it'd be 1 engineering manager. So for that, I hope you can demonstrate that you can do app development and you have personal projects previously. 1 developer, 1 UI UX, and 1 illustrator. And for these roles, you should have background in Figma and like Adobe Illustrator. And in terms of like the developers, maybe something like Swift and JavaScript would be helpful. Yeah, hope you guys join Star. Ooh.
Thank you. Up next, we have the leads for BGen.
Yeah. Hey everyone. I'm Shlok, and I'm here with my co-lead Bryan.
Yeah, hello. I'm Bryan. I'm co-leading this project with Shlok.
Yeah. Our project BGen is a mobile app-based platform exclusively for UCLA undergrads to buy and sell used textbooks and connect with peers who have taken or plan to take the same courses. Like, although online textbooks and PDFs are more popular than physical textbooks in college for cost reasons, some of us do choose to buy physical textbooks, which are usually overly expensive. But when the course ends, we're often left with nothing to do with them. A few of us also wish to use physical textbooks, but don't end up doing so, again, because they're so expensive. There's clearly a gap here, and BGen intends to bridge it by allowing students to sell or give away their used textbooks to peers. On BGen, you can list textbooks you no longer need for sale or find peers who are selling them or giving them away. Through BGen, we intend to improve the overall learning experience and reduce screen times, and additionally, as a byproduct, save trees. Bryan can take it from here.
Yeah, so for the team, we're looking for 3 more devs and 2 UI designers. For the dev, we're looking for 1 person who has some experience with Firebase to help out in the back end, and then 2 other front end developers. And for the front end, we're eyeing Flutter or React Native for the front end framework, but we're open to other suggestions and all levels of experience.
Thank you, guys. Up next, we have the lead for CuriouCity.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lakshita, and I'm the project lead for CuriouCity. And CuriouCity essentially aims to be a project that aims to solve the problem of not knowing where to go as a group and to avoid going to only commonly frequented places and experiences by providing a wide range of options based on how far you want to go, how much time you want to commit to the activity, what kinds of activities you want to prioritize, like do you want to prioritize a dining experience, experiencing some cultural event, participate in some nature-oriented activities, or etc. And then giving you a number of options of places while accounting for your preferred travel method. And ideally, these options would also aim to support small businesses by providing them in these options and and as a byproduct, support them after the pandemic. We could go to the next slide. Yeah, so the team size listed here is kind of variable. This is a sort of minimum, which is 2 front-end developers, 2 back-end, and 1 designer. And I would ideally want there to be 1 experienced member and then any amount of members with any level of experience to make it a fun, collaborative learning environment. So if you're interested or if you have any ideas how to develop the project, please do let me know and consider applying to CuriouCity. Thank you.
Thank you. Up next, we have PeerUpX.
Hello, everyone. We're a continuing project with CL. I'm Jennifer.
Hi, I'm the co-lead Aryan.
So about PeerUpX, it's a web app to host mental health hotline service PeerUp. Sometimes you're feeling down and hope to let out something that you don't want to tell people you know. PeerUp could be the platform for you to reach a peer supporter anonymously. Our app, PeerUpX, can improve PeerUp service model in 2 aspects. First, it will integrate different hotline platforms into one. Second, PeerUp now has a manual pairing process to connect students and available supporters, and PeerUpX simplifies this step, so there's no waiting time. We made great progress with CL last quarter, and now Aryan's gonna talk about our goal for this quarter and who we're looking for.
So basically last quarter, we completed our design wireframe, decided upon a basic workflow to start development. And in that, we completed our primary endpoints, are now able to fetch data from the database and update that data. We have also completed the chatting functionality. So this quarter, we're actually looking to finish the development process, which would entail finishing our user authentication. We would like to make the endpoint secure with API keys or such. And we would also want to improve our user interface and basically just start beta testing. For recruiting developers this quarter, we're looking for 6 developers in total. And their experience in front end with React, in backend with MongoDB Node Express, and in backend with Node Express and with MongoDB as database is preferable. So yeah, hope to see you guys in PeerUpX.
All right, thank you. Up next, our last project, which is OnTrack.
Hey guys, my name's Aryaman or Ari. I'm the project lead for OnTrack, and we're a continuing project with CL this quarter. So OnTrack is a smart course planner for UCLA students, and what it does is it solves the age-old problem of stress while planning your courses. So right now, if I want to plan courses for the next quarter, I have to first go to the class planner and see what's being offered. Then I have to go through those courses and see what prerequisites I meet. Then I also have to see my degree and go to DARS and see what courses I still have to take to finish that degree. And like also go on Bruin Walk and see what ratings these courses have and things like that. So I'm like visiting 3 or 4 web pages. So OnTrack aims to solve this problem by condensing all that information into one web page. So users would log into our app, enter their major, the courses they've taken, and then OnTrack shows them everything they're eligible to take for that upcoming quarter. That's a major requirement for them. It also displays information like course difficulty, course website links, etc. And it just aims to make the whole course planning process like a one-click process essentially. And so we're a project with TL last quarter as well, and we launched our MVP. So if you guys want to go check that out, I'll put the link in the chat to see what it's like right now. And then, yeah, in terms of plans for this quarter, we're just trying to make the app better and try to get as many users as we can, add some polishing touches to the app, add some more features, add like the ability to log in and save your courses and things like that. Could I get the next slide, please? Yeah, so in terms of what we're looking for this quarter, I'm looking for 2 front-end developers. We're using React as our front-end framework. So like some level of experience with React or JavaScript or even HTML and CSS would be preferred. I'm looking for 1 back-end developer. So we're using Node and Express as our backend, and we're using MongoDB as our database. So any level of experience with that would be good. We also do a good bit of web scraping with Python Selenium. So any experience with that is also welcome. And then we're looking for one UI UX designer, and we're working with Figma for our design. And because our project is like it's already up, we do have a lot of room for beginners. And so people with limited experience or no experience are welcome to join. I'm mostly just looking for people who are very passionate about the project and for people who are willing to learn quickly. So yeah, please apply to OnTrack. Yeah, hope to talk to some of you guys soon.
All right. Thank you so much. All right, now we're going to talk a little bit about project member applications. So you can find those at tinycl.com/member app. And just a few notes about our process if you haven't applied before. So project leads have complete autonomy in their decisions. The CL internal team doesn't have any input on this. Leads are the ones that review your applications, choose who to interview, and ultimately decide who joins their team. So your first choice is guaranteed to look at your application if you submit by the priority deadline. We'll talk about that on the next slide. But also, you can also specify a second and third choice project. So within your application, you should make sure to maybe talk a bit about why you're interested in each of these projects and why you think that you'd be a good fit for all three of the projects that you're able to specify. And one other note is just like to apply to all of the projects that you're really going to enjoy working on. Like CL is here to provide the opportunity to work on passion projects and help people to kind of achieve what their vision is. So we just want to make sure that you guys are also part of that. All right, so this is something new for this quarter. We're actually, instead of having one deadline and extending it, we're going to have a priority deadline and a rolling deadline. So our priority deadline is going to be this Monday. And if you submit by this deadline, your application is guaranteed to be reviewed by your first choice project. After that point, you can still submit applications up until Wednesday, but your application will be reviewed at project lead's discretion just because we do have to work on such a rapid timeline. We want to give you guys as much time to work on your projects as possible. So this is like the best solution that we came up with. Right. So now I'm going to hand it off to Maggie.
Yep, thank you, Isha, and thank you to all of the project leads who just presented. So we're going to be moving on from projects and moving into events and what CL has planned for this quarter. So feel free to click on the next slide. So as of right now, we have a Figma workshop planned. You may have noticed that some of the project leads mentioned using Figma for UI, UX, or for graphics and illustrations. So for those of you who are still trying to build your skill set before maybe joining a project, feel free to come by our Figma Basics workshop. It's going to be held Friday of week 3 tentatively. We're still going to try to figure out how it's going to be held remotely now that UCLA has released some new news about how we're going to be holding events and workshops. So feel free to drop by. It's going to be a rerun of the Figma workshop that I led last quarter, if this looks familiar. But basically, we'll be learning how to use Figma, and we'll be learning all of the basics on how to create something. By the end of the workshop, you'll be able to have a little buddy. So Isha, next slide. So these were some of the examples of the graphics that we made from the workshop. So if you're interested in learning how to make something like this, feel free to join us, and we'll have more details on when the workshop will be held and where if you follow our social media at Instagram and Facebook, as well as Discord. So next slide. Lucy?
Yes, hold on. I just wanted to mention that we will be sharing this meeting on our YouTube channel and also posting a recap and probably the slides later if you are trying to like read everything again. But To stay connected with us and all the events that we will be hosting throughout the quarter, definitely check out our Instagram at Creative Labs UCLA or join our Discord. We've kind of hyperlinked it in tinycl.com/discord. But either channel, you'll be notified about like the latest events, like how to sign up for them and all of that. But yeah, I think next slide. That concludes this part of GM, and we are going to move into the Q&A sessions. We have a breakout room set up, and each of the leads are just going to be in their room. If you have any questions about kind of like what exactly they're looking for or more detailed questions about their project, please feel free to ask them. And any concerns about kind of experience level, things like that would also be good to ask. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for joining, and we hope to see your application. Member apps will be opening a little bit after GM, so expect them around 7 p.m. I would say. But yeah, we'll be posting about that again later as well.
But yeah, thank you again, guys. Hopefully the breakout rooms will be opening soon if you're interested in joining.